Uh-oh. Back again. Back to back. Made back. Stack the M's. Anyway, we are back. So welcome back to another, whatever this is called. If you're on YouTube, shout out to you, but I love you more if you're on Patreon because you probably saw this first. Okay, so Patreon is always going to see everything that I do first. So I really appreciate you guys who are on my Inside Thoughts tier. Now, today we have a full docket. We got to get into some recent tweets that Nikki aimed at Jay-Z, as well as a message that she has for Fat Joe. And I'm going to need your help to put me on to what actually Fat Joe said. All right. So if you like to just catch people up in recent weeks, times, months, Nikki has been talking a lot about like industry stuff, industry politics, award shows, and how award shows have changed and they've lost their credibility, which is a conversation that fans have been having for the past couple of years because we all love to see our favorite artists at our favorite award shows like BET, the Grammys, AMAs, whatever the fuck. And I live for the days where Nicki Minaj and her whole Young Money crew used to show up to the award shows. But obviously, like, I feel like amongst A-list artists, they don't show up to award shows anymore. But that's not really what I want to get into. Actually, a couple of weeks ago on Station Head, and you can listen to it for yourself if you just go on my Barbology playlist on my channel Destiny Reloaded. You'll hear Nikki talk about why award shows lost credibility, and she basically blames Jay-Z for that reason, right? She blames Jay-Z, Rock Nation, or whoever his crew is, whoever her ops are, whoever has the power in the industry. She blames them for everyone's favorite artist no longer popping up to award shows because of the industry politics that they play behind the scenes and alienating artists. As she said, I think she said herself, I think 8 or 9 artists have been alienated from award shows. Not that they don't win awards, because I think that Drake still wins awards, even Nicki still wins awards. She's literally the most awarded like rapper ever with over 400 awards, like for real awards, just except for Grammys. Now, with the recent news of BET announcing that like they're no longer having one of their award shows, of course Nikki has some she has some thoughts about that. Let's get into the actual article, right? So it comes from Black Enterprise, and it's the headline goes, BET suspends Soul Train and Hip Hop Awards. Fat Joe calls it a form of gentrification. Changes at BET have likely been triggered by the merger of BET's parent company, Paramount Global, with Skydance Media, two staple programs that focus on the impact of Black culture. The BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Music Awards have been indefinitely suspended, which BET CEO Scott Mills hinted in comments to Billboard could return via its streaming platform. So they're saying it's not going away completely, but it could potentially return. According to Rolling Stone, some doubts about the future of the Soul Train Awards began to rise in 2024 when the show, which aired since 1987, was skipped and its social media accounts went silent in March of 2024. The BET Hip Hop Awards are a newer innovation from BET. That award show, a show that branched out from its BET award show, began airing in 2006, and like the Soul Train Awards, has been aired every year by the network. So for BET Linear, we have suspended the Soul Train and Hip Hop Award shows, the CEO told Billboard. BET Linear refers to the programming on the BET channel, the network's original cable channel. But we have a team that's actively thinking about where those award shows might be best live as the media climate continues to evolve. Sorry, they aren't gone. The CEO continued, I would say that it's less about them being no longer and more about our team having to reimagine them for this changing media landscape that we find ourselves in. So yeah, like Nikki was saying that because they alienated certain artists who like a lot of people are fans of, that's true, but it's also true like what he's saying, the media landscape changed. I don't even watch cable anymore. I don't watch any award shows unless that shit's streaming for free on Twitter. No shade. Okay, let me know about you. Do you watch award shows these days? Let's really talk about it, because they're trying to find out. BET, like they said, their team is actively thinking about this. So they're watching our behavior on social media to see how they could best piece together this award show to bring it back. So they're studying us. So let's give them the answers in the comments. So I think what we're going to see are more people taking franchises and saying this might have started on linear television, but now I'm going to move it to another space. Do I move it to streaming or do I move it to another platform? Although Mills believes that the programming will return, he did note that the BET Hip Hop Awards viewership pattern had been trending down since 2001. Viewership was down. However, the cable ecosystem is smaller than it was a year ago. That yeah, smaller today than it was a year ago. That's just the reality of it. It was an extraordinary show. And honestly, I attribute the viewership declines less to the declines in the cable ecosystem and more to the fact that we moved the night of the show. Okay. According to Billboard's reporting, the changes at BET have likely been triggered by the merger of BET's parent company, Paramount Global, with Skydance Media. Mills avoided any direct comment about BET's place in Paramount's future pecking order, but lauded the company's position as the leading Black media platform. All right. So, well, you know, okay, so this is where Fat Joe comes in, and then we gonna pull Nikki into the conversation. So it says in a recent episode, by the way, did y'all like the video yet? And did you subscribe? Because you really need to, because this is tea right here. So it says in a recent episode of their podcast, Joe and Jada, rappers Fat Joe and Jada Kiss discussed the situation that started in earnest when BET's founder Bob Johnson sold BET to Viacom, ending the network's long run as a Black-owned company in 2000. Okay, so the company was subsequently acquired by Paramount once Viacom was absorbed by Paramount Global. Oh, I didn't know that. Viacom is no longer. Interesting, which had looked to sell the company in 2024, but backed out of the buyer's market after a potential sale of BET was linked to figures like Byron Allen, BET CEO himself, and a private equity group. Even Sean Combs and Tyler Perry. I remember Tyler Perry like wanting to buy BET and probably Diddy as well. So it says this is a form of gentrification. What's going on? I don't know if you really want to ask me about this, said Fat Joe. Vibe reported. He added, BET came up as a community station for Black people in urban culture. So honestly, this is probably what ticked Nikki off. No shade. And we'll listen to some audio that she added to her story. So it says BT came up as a community station for Black people in urban culture. No shade, but like Fat Joe, you're not Black, so please. Our man Bob Johnson took the check. Oh my God, he sold it to Viacom, Paramount, MTV, and them, VH1 and one of them. Little by little over the years, quietly they've been firing a lot of people behind the scenes at BET. And everybody who has something to say, they've been firing them. And I know because I've been working on the BET Hip Hop Awards for 3 years. Shit was like the budget, not for me, but the budget just kept getting chopped and chopped and chopped. Lord of mercy. So they have a clip. Let's look at what this clip is talking about.
BET is canceling the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards. That's like a loss for the culture.
All right, we gotta speed this up a little bit. No shade. Like, let's see what's getting.
Canceling the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards. That's like a loss for the culture. What you say?
This is a form of gentrification, what's going on right now. So BET came up as a community station for Black people. Bob Johnson, he sold it to Viacom and Paramount, VH1 and them. Little by little over the years, they've been firing a lot of people.
Okay, so he basically saying the same thing that we just read in the article, but let's give it to him.
People behind the scenes in BET and everybody who has something to say, they've been firing them and this and this and that. And I know because I've been working on the BET Hip Hop Awards for 3 years, the budget just kept getting chopped. They kept underfunding them. And you ain't got no money to be creative. That's why you was watching the Ratchet Awards and all that. They ain't had no bread.
They have bread for what they want to have bread for.
No Soul Train, no BET Awards. But guess what? We got the VMAs.
Those ain't for us.
But the point is, that's your answer in a nutshell. That's what happened.
They left us with one award. So.
Yeah, but they got I think the main BET Awards.
No, the BET regular awards is still there.
Yeah.
That's still a little topsy-turvy.
Oh, no, that's the second away. The writing's on the wall. If you see everything else falling down as a domino, that's the next one.
So he's hinting that the main BET Awards could potentially go as well. And I don't know, this is really interesting because like the whole dynamic is that Fat Joe is managed by Rock Nation as well as Jada Kiss, I believe. And like, I think that this Joe and Jada podcast is one example of Rock Nation trying to branch into the podcasting game. Because why not, you know? And so that's one of the reasons why I thought that Nikki had a problem with what Fat Joe was saying. And so she probably saw this clip or whatever. And like yeah, it's real. The budget is getting chopped because everybody's budget is getting chopped and stuff as well. But I think Nikki's point is that, which we're gonna get to, so please stay with me here. Is that y'all are not really waking up, and let's have the real conversation. So let's finish this out, and then we're gonna go see what Nikki said.
One little fumble by Kevin Hart, one little joke too many, that shit over too. And I got a lot of friends at VMAs and MTV, and I love you guys. But, you know, sometimes the goal is to buy your project to suppress you. Some big company might come and be like, yo, we want to buy Rewind to 10. Throw us the Billy. And then, like, shut it down. Yeah. Like, yo, this shit got to go. We got to keep this thing moving. Who knows? That's just our take on Joe and Jada.
Yeah. Save hip-hop.
Save hip-hop.
Save the awards.
So they talking about save hip-hop, save the awards, crying. So, okay. So let's get into Nikki real right now, okay? So August 9th, Nikki come on Twitter like it was no warning or whatever. She didn't even get this shit wet. She just went right into it. So let's get into it. So she said, brother billionaire giving a speech. So brother billionaire refers to, of course, Jay-Z. Jay-Z giving a speech about an award he wanted to bring back home the following year while staying extremely quiet during the presidential campaign was peak audacity. I'd say comedy, but let's face it, that was so fucking cringe, no one laughed. So let's break this down. So she said, brother billionaire giving a speech about an award that he wanted to bring back home. And I was confused at first. I'm like, what is she talking about? But what award did Jay-Z make a big deal about? The Grammy Album of the Year at the Grammys, I believe in 2024 for Beyoncé. He put pressure on the Grammys and then she won it, I believe, in 2025 for Cowboy Carter. Okay. And so I think that what is this we gonna wake it all the way the fuck up because I am tired of this shit. Refer to my video on a real what I called it, just a intervention with Baynika stands and shit like that. Like, no shade, like waking it up on Beyonce and Nicki Minaj, because what? Every time I talk, it's facts. So listen, if Nikki got a problem, right? Because she said, Jay-Z, you made a big deal about one award, brought it home, but you was quiet during the presidential campaign. Now, no shade, but I don't understand what the presidential campaign got to do with campaigning for the Grammy or whatever, right? Now, once again, I don't know if this is, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if this is related to what Fat Joe was saying because Fat Joe was talking about BET. When Nikki here, she's talking about the Grammy, right? Because what other award did Jay-Z make a big deal out of? So, but he was quiet during the presidential campaign. Honestly, I really don't know what the correlation is, but she said was peak audacity. I say comedy, but okay. So, yeah, so let's go back, right? Because in my video about a real conversation between Nicki Minaj and Beyonce, like how you feel if, once again, why was Jay-Z campaigning for that award for Beyonce? Beyonce then won the award. And so if Nicki's argument, because she said it her mouth on that station head where she said artists were alienated industry politics for certain people to get awards. Okay. Now, she probably wasn't just talking about the Grammys or any one award show, although she did mention the BET Awards back when she said that in that station head audio, right? So we're piecing everything together. So if she feels like, once again, Jay-Z, the powers that be, Desiree Perez alienated herself, Nicki Minaj, and other artists to give certain artists awards, who is the beneficiary of those industry politics? Beyonce. Beyonce wins everything, right? So if this is how Nicki Minaj feels, how do you think that Nicki really feels towards Beyonce? We could keep up the fake shit and be like, oh my God, no, Nicki loves Beyonce. I'm sure that there's a percentage of Nicki who does love Beyonce, revere Beyonce, and look up to Beyonce. But at the end of the day, if Nicki feels that, like, if she's showing you all of this hatred towards Jay-Z for how he allegedly, in her words, destroyed hip hop, what do you think about how she feels about Beyonce and how Beyonce has continued to win in spite of others losing? And once again, it's not only Beyonce, right? There's been other female rappers who have won awards, who have won Grammys, like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Doechii. Once again, Nicki never named any names, but let's take it out. We can take it out of Beyonce for a second, right? Because once again, there are other artists winning awards that other artists could be winning. winning. And once again, I'm not saying that Nikki feels like she should win every award, because that's not what she said. She said that 8 to 9 artists have been alienated, so she could be speaking up for either any one of them or herself. But if only certain people continue to win these awards that others are being sacrificed for, only one or some people are benefiting, how do you think she feels towards those people? So once again, we got to stop with the fake shit between Nikki and Beyoncé, because we know she ain't really happy with her right now. So let's take it back once again to Nikki calling out Fat Joe. And actually, let's come right here to what this person said about Fat Joe and the BET Hip Hop Awards. They said Fat Joe killed the BET Hip Hop Awards, and the numbers prove it. Ever since he hosted, ratings nosedived and the cultural respect for the show vanished. Now remember, Fat Joe said himself that he was working on the BET Hip Hop Award show for the past 3 years. I know that he hosted it at least one time, but once again, I don't watch these award shows, so I wouldn't know if you hosted one or some or all three. Don't know. You tell me. So it says, ever since he hosted, ratings nosedives and the cultural respect for the show vanished. Instead of celebrating the roots of hip hop and uplifting Black American talent, the show became an industry circus headlined by someone who's never truly been of our culture. Joe may perform proximity to Blackness, but when it comes to history, lineage, and legacy, he is a visitor, not a builder. And the truth is, even his own community doesn't follow him. You never see Latino media or Latin rap platforms pushing Fat Joe's moves, booking him to speak for their issues, or holding him up as a cultural leader. He only gets propped up when he's around us, and that's the problem. BET putting him front and center was a slap in the face to the architects of the culture. Now the show is gone. Cause and effect. Okay. Woo! People is waking it up. Let's see how much engagement this has. 2,000 likes, 588 retweets. Once again, that's how the people feeling, child. Come over here real quick. Nicki Cohen posted this on her story.
This is a form of
now she attached she attached the audio of Fat Joe. Let's hear what she attached, okay?
This is a form of gentrification, what's going on right now. Right. So I don't know if y'all really want to ask me about this here, right? So BET came up as a
okay, so it's the same clip that we watched. All right, cool. So we on the same page with Nikki. No shade, before I started recording this, I didn't know exactly what Nikki was referring to. I don't watch Fat Joe's content and shit like that. So we on the same page. We got it. Lit. I like the video. All right, cool. So it says, LOL, I can't wait for Queen Radio to come back. It's funny to see more nonsense being spewed by people like Fat Joe, simply because most of y'all are so afraid to speak truth. If you'd like to hear the truth, I'll gladly fill everyone in, trying to rewrite history yet again, trying to blame the white man yet again. Aw, man, stop it, yo. So once again, you got to remember that Fat Joe is managed by Roc Nation, right? And so what she's saying is that I can't say if Jay-Z and or Roc Nation put it up to this, because in the clip you hear Fat Joe saying basically it's the white man, they buying out BET, so it's becoming gentrified, right? Gentrification refers to the whitening of the culture. We get it, right? Like what diluting of the culture, right? So Nikki's saying no, that's not the real reason. The real reason is what I was talking about a couple weeks ago when I talked about the industry politics and how y'all have alienated like certain artists to award certain artists, right? That's what she's really saying. So when she later that night, she was on Twitter Spaces with some barbs, and she didn't get into this because she talked about wanting to really dive deeper into this subject when she really moves to a new platform for Queen Radio. So we don't know when that's going to be, if it's going to be anytime soon or not. But yeah, so once again, Nikki's setting her sights on Fat Joe, on the award show conversation, and like all of this stuff is happening with BET announcing that the award show was going away, but Nikki woke it up on BET and all of these award shows just a month in advance, right? So it's really not, I wonder if she had any intel on this happening when she started talking about this, or it just so happened that whatever. Once again, like they say, Nikki never lies. So here is a situation where, and Fat Joe even made reference to it in the video where he said, when Jadakiss said we still got the main BET award show, Fat Joe was like, yeah, well, you could see the writings on the wall. Maybe that might go. And honestly, I don't really think that's gonna happen. I don't think they're gonna get rid of the main BET award show because that would just be crazy. Like seriously, it would be like the culture is on fire. Like we like like that's an emergency. Because the black people at least need to have at least one thing. Hip hop, the culture, we need to have at least one thing. But once again, that's Nikki waking it up on Jay-Z, Rock Nation, Fat Joe, and really trying to get to the real tea behind this and stuff like that. And no shade, I'm here for it. I'm here for the waking it up on the industry politics because I definitely think that there's a point there. And once again, this is a conversation that fans have been carrying on for years at this point. So I want to turn the camera on to you and you let me know how you feel. Do you think that it is really the white man who is causing the decline in black entertainment and television? Or do you think it's more of what Nikki said in that the industry titans who are alienating certain artists to award certain artists or certain agendas, thus pushing the real artists of the culture out, the real ones who the fans want to win out for their agenda? You guys let me know what you think in the comments, but I'm so grateful if you made it to the end of this video. And yeah, please like it. Please make sure that you subscribe with all notifications on, and I cannot wait to talk to you in the next one. Peace.
Play with somebody say fuck.
It's your girl Vina Love, the Harlem Princess, your favorite princess, and this is Destiny Villa.
Period.